RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode. What it do?
Good, yo. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, it's shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. As always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, LB, Lauderdale boss, the Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And, the God, Bodega P, King P, he's off for tonight. I think he's just recovering from his little trip to Miami, you know what I'm saying? So he's getting his little relax on, but you'll catch him on the next podcast. But as always, we got another one of our men, so I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Yo, what up? It's PJ, the coach, location undisclosed, Canada. And shit, I actually was coaching a couple hours ago, so yeah, what's up?
That's what it is, PJ.
I had to bring them back. It's the original trio.
Yes, PJ, straight from witness protection up in some tundra, frozen tundra land in the Great White North. You know what I mean? Oh wait, did I just reveal his location? I didn't say that. I didn't mean to say that.
You got some new students show up.
I don't know what you're saying, eh?
Teach us the way, master.
I don't know what you're talking about, eh? I'm just delivering papers.
How'd you find me? Listen to the podcast, sir.
Disclaimer, I do not know what the locations of the coach is at this point. I'm just saying shit to say shit. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to investigate any further, officer.
You gotta say it three times like Candyman.
And then the boxing glove appears and punches you.
you pop up and body punch someone?
Yes.
I think we could all summon that shit. Like you say Pat 3 times, like you'll just get thrown into a wall all of a sudden. Like you won't know what happened.
Oh man, and, but definitely though, when that movie comes out, we'll be watching it because Candyman is a personal classic for me. And Candyman is one of the few movies alive that scared the living shit out of me upon first viewing.
I just saw it too, like the recent one, like the new one.
Yeah, that
was pretty decent. It was long.
Yeah, I'll say the first 15 minutes of that shit was just like it was so intense. It's
so like funny, dog. That shit was wild.
Yeah, it was, but I couldn't laugh because it had some stuff in there you laugh at in private, but you can't because you're around mixed couples.
Nah. I mean, if I'd have seen it in the movie theater like Joker, I would have been laughing at all the fucked up parts like I did in that. So, I mean, what's somebody gonna do? Like, throw me out? Like, they're gonna beat my ass? The fuck?
True. But, that's just me having the conscience of being a human. So I waited until after I was gone to laugh my ass off at the scene.
I'm a boxing fan. I'm not human. Bloodthirsty ghoul.
Facts. But definitely though, watch out when Candyman comes out in June. We'll definitely have a podcast on that, and then we'll obviously compare it to the original Candyman flicks. But yeah, definitely watch out for that. However, tonight, we're gonna talk about two things. First will be the wonderful card last night that the Zone and Matchroom put out. An early candidate for card of the year, actually. That's real talk. It was. Let's put it this way. I mean, because that card just triggers the paradigm of boxing cards. You want to pay $80 for just one fucking fight that everyone wants to see, and you get a lackluster undercard, or you pay, in this case, $9.99, and you get a card that's literally from top to bottom, at least on the main card, was fire. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of that on boxing Twitter about that. There's some, it's innovative, but we'll get into that too a little bit after the cards. But yeah, the cards that was headlined by the main event of Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas, two fighters coming from extended layoffs for various reasons. But before we get into that particular fight, first I'm just gonna take a couple sentences about the undercard, really. I mean, as you know, Matchroom likes to do his prospects, and I think 2 of the prospects actually went the distance. But I think the one that everyone wanted to see, Israel Madrimov, or Madrimov, however you pronounce it. You know, I mean, dude is like a weird hybrid between Triple G of a younger Triple G, and with the footwork and the movement of Emmanuel Augustus. Oh, I think I think that just came recently, last couple of his fights. I mean, dude didn't disappoint though. I mean, he scored a nice body shot KO, and who knows, he may have a 154 shot coming very soon, especially with 154. You know, being one of them divisions that fluctuates a lot between their champions, because niggas just they hand out face to each other like on a monthly basis there. And then, of course, we have Joseph Parker. He returned to action after again that Charlotte's Web spider bite issue on his leg and shit. And he puts Stu away in a fairly entertaining fight. Though he still has a little struggle, but you get him back in the picture. And then afterwards, we start with the main, the 3 big fights on the card that everyone was really anticipating, and the ones that, if you heard our preview, we were excited about. The first one was a flyweight title challenge between champion Julio Cesar Martinez and challenger Jay Harris. LB, man, what was your opinions on that fight, bro?
Great fucking fight.
Yeah,
it's an amazing fight. Just a good performance from JC Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Jay Harris. Martinez showed that he's elite in his division, like definitely. I love his combinations, his aggression. He has power in both hands. He shifts. He comes forward. He puts it on you. Jay Harris, you're talking about a guy who's a Amazon warehouse worker,
right?
He fought like an elite contender, like. Dude was there every step of the way, countering in combinations, opening up, throwing jabs, right hands, uppercuts. Like, these guys really fucking just win at it hard. But over time, the class really showed, and Martinez kind of just took it away. But Harris was competitive to the very end. Like to see both dudes on the TV again.
Yeah, no, there was definitely like Harris. Though, I mean, the only thing that strikes me about Harris, even though I've seen him fight before this, I've never heard him speak. So when this nigga's talking about, I was just like, whoa. This motherfucker has his nuts like squeezed like plier type speech, nigga. I was just like, damn. And it was like, and I was like, okay. This motherfucker has a high ass voice. But I guess that might be that was probably a little bit alarming. And then I guess there's points they might, if they heard him speak, they'd probably like laughing. And then of course they realized again his ass whooped in the end. But Harris made it a fight though. I mean, and the fight that fight wasn't even like a phone booth type fight. Like they both of them, they fought from a good distance. Like they were able to just use a distance, and they were letting straight fades on each other doing that. Like, I mean, they took some hellacious shots. Harris in particular took some punishment to his body. Like, you can see JC Martinez like handiwork. Like, his whole side was red. I mean, granted, dude is pale and everything like that, but I mean, dude's sides were tenderized. And when he went down, I think it was in the 9th or the 10th round. Like, you could tell, like, dude was taking some deep breaths. Like, dude was like saying, "Should I continue this shit?" And in a way, I was kind of mad at him because in my prediction, I said this would end by a body shot. It would be a mini war end by a body shot, and it didn't end by a body shot. He got his ass up. It's admirable. Fighters do what fighters need to do. But I mean, I would have not minded if he stayed down to mix, because I'd right now be bragging about this shit right now if he stayed down by that.
No, leave that super accurate predictions for me, fam.
Nigga, I was close. Nigga, this was if that was a fast cut, it would be 9.99999 a Donaire monster type shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was so close. I was like, damn it, that could have been a very accurate prediction. I went hold over these niggas, man. But he got up.
Damn! Don't let my Fury KO 7 get to you too hard.
There'll always be plenty of fights for me to wax poetics on. Don't worry. I'll get my accurate predictions of the year. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, you gotta make up some ground, bro. I'm just dishing them out here this year. I mean, even from last year, it just keep on going.
All right, I know I need to do. Don't worry, I'll get accurate predictions sooner or later.
But shit, I mean, it was still a great fight, man. Like Harris showed hard. The one thing I could take away with Martinez, I feel like he needs to work on his defense a little more. Like he's kind of too
Margarito. Too Margarito-ish.
Not only that, like he's literally standing straight up. It's like there's no bends, no knee bends or anything, no feints in this game. He just kind of, to me, he's like a more aggressive, faster Benavidez, a Coke boy.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I mean,
no, because the combinations, like, bruh, like. Dude, like this is the thing. Most people, they counter in combination and they counter like maybe 1 punch, 2 punches. Even 3. Like,
Then they counters like 4 or 5.
He goes like 4, 5, 6, bruh.
I mean that shit. Dude went ham with this, like, and I was telling Obi that's like, damn, like this dude be lining up like like punches and bunches counters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit was. Granted, yeah, he's a flyweight. Flyweights do what flyweights do. I mean. Their punch output is higher than most.
Yeah, but his combinations are just violent. Like in their body head, their uppercuts, their smashes, their hooks.
Yeah,
like
and the body work
overwhelms you.
Yeah, like I just bring back the body work was just once dudes start getting that body work going, like Harris wilted. But he didn't give up. I mean, 'cause I remember he went to his corner, like, Jude groaned. His father was like, I know.
He's like, no, you don't know, Dad. These shit's hurt.
Yeah, like, dude was just under, like, he was just like, granted, he did his, he tried to get his son, kept him in the fight with this, with the pep talk and everything like that. And, like I said, he didn't give up. But yeah, Martinez, it was straight violence with that dude.
Yeah. But Harris was able to land with him. And just the thing is, Harris would land maybe 2 shots to Martinez 4 or 5. And Harris' shots would just be straight down the middle. That's why I felt like if Martinez, he would punch and like follow through, like he would really like punch through the target and dip his head, like finish on the outside or some shots, he would always be there to get the return fire, because Harris really couldn't miss. Like, even the punch stats at the end, like, it showed that Harris was up there landing too, and Martinez landed more, but it's like, damn. So what if you get a guy like, who's stronger than Harris, who could punch harder?
Yeah.
So Martinez got to really kind of clean that up a bit, because it was full guard versus half guard. But it's like Harris half guard, he was still catching too much fire, because I see when he tried to do that shoulder roll, he wasn't rotating the shoulder.
Yeah, I think that's because he just wanted to try some shit out, just to see how it would look. Just to say, look, I mean, that's the whole reason why he actually did it. And then
he did it too damn much, because he was getting hit with damn overhand rights. Like,
exactly. So he was
gonna do that shit, like have the shoulder in front of your chin and really stand at the angle. Like, a lot of these dudes, they try to roll the punches, but they fucking up the angle. If you're not at the right angle, then you're gonna get hit with that shit.
Yeah, you're gonna get your temple blasted into oblivion.
Yeah.
Sounds like
you got caught with that shit too many times.
Sounds like a boxer should have watched a certain tutorial.
The full guard and half guard video tutorials on ringgangradio.com.
I believe so.
The training section, yeah.
Yeah.
Message.
Good idea.
Pure message.
I mean, because it's right up there. Like, people be like, man, fucking nobodies. Who these motherfuckers? Just bring a podcast. They don't know shit. I mean, hey, it's out there. Take it or leave it.
Even when you go to the library to watch it.
I mean, even myself. I mean, I don't utilize it. So I've never utilized a shoulder roll defense. It probably never will. But if I want to, that would be the first place I would go to learn it. You know what I'm saying?
Because if you standing at an angle already and you giving half the target, then it's like your body naturally does the shoulder roll. Like, if you see a lot of the older boxers, The older footage, you see 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 40s, 50s, all of that shit. It seemed like everybody was able to fight at an angle and roll punches better. Like now, you don't see it as much.
Well, yeah, and this could also be a topic too, because I think back then fundamentals were really drilled because the trainers were available, like the system, like the trainers, like knowledge was passed down, like very linearly, to trainer and fighters, and that's why it wasn't until I think when more athletic people started getting into boxing, the whole shift changed in terms of how people started. Now, granted, you can't have robots like fighting. Like, not everyone. You don't want everyone fighting the same because that gets boring. But you can see it in a way that it was like when the people start doing it, you see like a lot of chinks in the armor start happening with some of these fights in terms of their fundamentals. So But yeah, that could definitely be for another podcast. We talk about that. But yeah, definitely back then, your fundamentals, because they used to fight off. Your fundamentals meant the difference between, a win or scan something like a detached retina, which there was no treatment from back in the day. You know what I mean? So, and then of course,
those punches really counted, man. Like,
yeah,
gotta get your defense and offense gotta be on point. It's balance.
Yeah, it's balance, but yeah, and the balance is not really shown in fighters because fighters can get away with a whole lot. Because boxing today for boxing the other day, it's a different monster. It's a very different monster in terms of how fighters are, or how to make a living. But let me not get too far off into that, But
still, end of the day, it was still a good fight from both. Both can improve. Like, I feel like if Jay Harris, gets some more good fights under his belt, more experience, I wouldn't mind a rematch between these two. These guys made a good fucking fight, man.
They did, they really did, and I mean, it wasn't close on the cards. At least I don't think it was, but it was competitive, and that's all that matters.
Harris probably won 3-4 rounds.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah,
give or take.
Yeah,
and he was competitive in each round, so hey, it is what it is. That's how it be sometimes. You can't win them all.
Yeah, I mean that fight. I mean, if someone would call it like a fight of the year candidate, I wouldn't even be mad at it because it was that.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. Like, I would just be like, okay,
like I mean, obviously, if it turns to be like a highlight of a down year, then yeah, of course, it's not really a good thing if that's the case. But if someone wants to call it like a lower end fight of the year candidate, yeah, no problem with that.
Because we low key had some good action fights this year so far, like. Just a handful that, like, I'm talking about significant ones, like title fights, contenders. So, yeah, you can add this one to that.
Yeah, what I'm saying? Like, I'd rewatch that, on the low, so I mean, so, that fight, I mean, and I think, and just by judging by responses I was reading on Twitter, so, like, I mean, that fight was really, everyone seemed to enjoy that fight a lot. And that's important, because, like I said, if you heard me and LB talk about the lighter weights, which we have a podcast about, let's say it's significant for them. Like we consider this significant that they're getting this type of attention. People enjoy the fights because, a flyweight fight in America being shown like that, you don't see it like on Telemundo or something like that, really.
Hola, señores, welcome to Telemundo.
Exactly. And you don't really understand everything like other than knockout, something like that. But yeah, it was a great fight, and that's recommendation to actually watch that. The second fight on there, which was a fight that we all had, we had little doubts like who would win because we were slightly concerned.
I mean, I'm so glad I picked this fight wrong. I didn't want to make a prediction in the first place.
Yeah, same here. I didn't want either because the fight we were talking about was Chocolatito, getting a title shot against champion Cal Yafai. And Cal Yafai was the current WBA super flyweight champ. And although he had been underwhelming and he had been rightly flamed for his competition, he held the belt for a minute and he was undefeated and he was prime. And Chocolatito, based off, was not prime. And we were just concerned that we hoped that it would have turned into a beatdown for him. Because that would probably be the end of his career if that happened.
Allow me to interject for just a moment. At super flyweight, people may not realize when you're in your 30s, you might as well be 60-something or 70.
Facts.
Yup.
Yeah, because I mean the lighter weight, because I mean obviously between either making the weight at an advanced age, which is a modern day miracle, and then you have fighters who don't know what their actual natural walk around weight is. For all I know, you got motherfuckers walking around like 150 and they boil themselves down to that shit. Yeah, and of course, on top of the type of fights they had, because I mean the lighter weight fights are violent. They are violent.
Yes,
fights.
they are.
They're violent.
Evo just gave you a window of what they do.
Yeah. So Chocolatito, and as we mentioned before, if you listen to our preview podcast, was put through the ringer in 3 straight fights he had over there. The Quadras fight, when he became a champion there in his 4th division, and then the King Sor fight, the first one, which me and LB we disagreed on who won.
Our liege, King Sor, King of the People.
Although technically,
Fuck all that. The dude should have lost that fucking fight.
Although technically, though, and it's actually went back to see what actually scored the fight, and actually gave the fight to Chocolatito with the knockdown, 115-113, because I think I gave like double rounds. I did give the fight to him, but I was not mad at the decision. I wasn't.
Bad fucking decision.
And then,
Thank
of course,
God they had the main event right that night. Shit.
Yeah. True. And then, of course, Chocolatito, the 3rd fight, we had the rematch with King Sor. And like I said, you saw basically that fight really affected him, and he got brutally KO'd.
It was brutal.
And then he had been out with like various injuries and so, especially to his knee, so he didn't know what he had left.
Also, his other coach had passed away too.
Yes, that too. You had to go through that. But Chocolatito turned back the hands of time one more time and put in an absolutely great performance.
Impressive.
Impressive.
Here's the best way to describe Chocolatito's pressure. His pressure is so ridiculous, he is in front of your bed the moment you wake up. You're not
Why
even
aren't you dressed for school yet?
Exactly. You're not even getting to the shower until you get past him. He's fighting you on the bus. He's fighting you in the classroom. He's fighting you in the cafeteria. He's fighting you on the way back.
Locker room, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Recess, like that's that one bully that's just gonna get his money.
Even when he already has it, he's just like, I'm making a head for myself, so we can do automatic payments.
Oh man, but Chocolatito, man, he put out a performance, and part of the reason why he put out a performance that he did is because someone told Calify that he could stand in front of Chocolatito and out pressure him, and that's not even his style of fighting.
I would like to know who was the one who told him that.
Yeah,
I mean, his dude was like, man, I'm the bigger guy, I'm younger, I'm in my prime. Then
Yeah. Have you not heard of a thing called skill set?
Yeah, exactly. His skill set.
Kafai got a skill set. It's just he fucked up because he kept letting Chocolatito get off first.
Exactly, and the Calify's skill set was to the point where if he had fought the way he usually fought, he probably would have won or made it very competitive. But he decided to just. He's like,
I think there was one other thing too, because as the fight was leading up to it, they did say Calify did look up to Chocolatito way back. So he's just
bought
like
a ticket for his fight and everything.
Exactly. So when he was in front of him, he was just like, "Oh shit, what I do? I think I should prove to him that I can be just as good to earn his respect." I'm like, "No, you don't. No, you don't. You're literally known for something. Why didn't you use it?"
Yeah, and he did. And usually Calify fights are not the most entertaining. I mean, so it's like it's catch-22. He didn't fight the way he usually did, but he made it. But the way he was fighting made it an exciting fight. The problem was Chocolatito just slowly buried him during the fight. Pressure and volume buried him.
Chocolatito hit harder than I think Kafai realized. Like, I don't think he, people forget, like, yeah, Chocolatito, he's undersized for this division, but he still hits hard.
Yeah, like, I mean, pretty much.
Like, he still has pop in his punches, like, and he runs them off, too.
Yeah, like I said, like I mentioned before, the aforementioned fights, like Quadras was a tough guy, and Quadras hasn't looked right since that fight with Chocolatito. And well, King Sor, he was an unknown Asian. Asians be doing Asian things. So I mean, he was like, hey, the better man won in those fights.
King Sor just be on the block, just grinding, just doing work, slinging rocks and all that other shit. You know what it is.
Yeah,
if you make a mistake, he sees food.
No fucking king. Alright, he's alright.
Like
Yo,
that.
I'm proud you pronounced the name.
He caught a good break that first Chocolatito fight. He caught an even better break the second fight because it was because the first fight was a fucking robbery is the reason why they did the second fight.
Never mind the fact that it was unbelievably damaging and bloody as well.
Yeah, but even then, you know, Soren Visai, he had the right strategy for Chocolatito. Well, I wouldn't say the right because he still lost the first
He
fight.
had the right
better
genes.
strategy than Kafai.
You know, he had the right genes. Kafai did not have the right strategy, and then, like I said, he just got bodied over and over and over, and then the knockdowns came.
You could see during the fight what Yafai was trying to do, but you could also see it's not something he's very comfortable with, or he's still learning how to do it.
Well, either way, he got shaken. Like once he started feeling Chocolatito's power, dude got shaky quick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like dude had a different look at his face. Like every punch started hurting him. Like and dude's just like, and he got tired too. On top of that too, because he thought he could out pressure him.
That Chocolatito pressure is no joke. Even at this advanced stage in his career, like you let him start getting, you let him start going and picking up momentum, and it's like you just dig in your grave because unless you really just say fuck it and start winging bombs like Soren Visai, you're just gonna get pushed back, and then you got to damn box off that back foot and. Yeah, it's hard to box off the back foot against a guy like Chocolatito who just keeps coming at you from different angles.
He just won't stop.
Yeah, and it's like body, head, left, right, everything, uppercuts.
Right.
Let's also add one extra thing about it too. As you're saying, like as he added all those shots, what makes him really scary is he doesn't show which one is the committed shot.
Yes.
So you're wondering when he's actually going to hurt you, and when he does, it's too late.
And
he's slipping while he's coming forward too. He's not in there right in front of you, just taking shots like Martinez was. Like he's bobbing and weaving, dipping his head, and he's jabbing his way inside. Kafai, all Kafai had to do was just be the bigger man and jab first. He couldn't even do that shit. He couldn't maintain it.
To Lennox Lewis, you got to jab the jabber. Jab the jabber.
And that's actually underrated skill too, because fighters today be telegraphing the punches like a motherfucker, and it's very rare that you have someone who doesn't do that. Like I mean, Chocolatito's one of the hardest people. Unless you can pressure him, he's one of the hardest people to actually to see, like to know what's coming towards what's coming towards you from him. So it's like I mean, that's an underrated skill set, and like so your fight just didn't have it. And like I said, he got knocked out. I think it was in the 7th round, and then the end came in the 9th round with one overhand right. Like the referee didn't even bother to finish his count. Like he's like, yeah, you're done for the night. Like that was a highlight reel knockout.
Yeah, that timber.
Yeah.
All Chocolatito needed was a flannel shirt, a beanie, and you would say he's just chopping everything down.
The Paul Bunyan grip.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to see. Like it was great to see. Like he proved everyone on here like wrong, and and he's champion again. After about 3 years.
That just solidifies him. Being in the running for a fighter of the decade. Because low key, a lot of people weren't mentioning his name. I know we didn't even mention his name, but I did feel like he should have been up there as well, more so than a fucking Canelo. But people don't respect these little guys.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. And,
even though they're like some of the most terrifying guys in the sport.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, I mean, like
catching the most bodies too.
I know.
I mean, you've heard me talk about Victor Chinnen, when he was in the lower weights, or Brian Valoria, so people like that, especially Victor Chinnen. Like these cats, unfortunately, like I said, although they got television coverage and everything like that, I think probably by the time they started getting the more high profile things, they were starting to get bodied because they went above their actual.
Yeah, because at the lighter weights, people don't really get on, or the majority don't really start getting recognition until they're at like their peak or on the downside of their peak. Like they've hit the mountaintop and now they're on the downside, but they're still, at the top.
Yeah, and because of that lack of like camera time, they feel like I need to be more exciting. I need to like just start swinging,
take more chances, and
Yeah.
and start throwing a gazillion punches. It's like Golovkin's career is like a normal career for most flyweights.
Yo, flyweights would kill for his career.
Or like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or even a more extreme example, like Pacquiao. I mean, Pacquiao obviously is a fight. Like a Pacquiao career from flyweight to 154 is not heard. It's not heard of. Like you don't see it on that level, and you probably will never see that again. At least not in our lifetimes, because it's so
rare.
Yeah,
but see, the way I was describing it, the reason why I said it was like Golovkin's career is like the normal damn flyweight career, meaning he didn't really start getting the big fights or the real recognition, the real money fights until he was already past it. Like,
right, yeah,
he was already like, people forget, 2010 to 2015 was his real prime.
Yeah,
that was his peak. At his absolute best. And then from there,
also
it goes down a little, but
he had the potential of another big fight, but the guy like fucked up his spine before he had the chance. That was Pirog.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, because if those two were able to fight, that probably would have been an amazing fight.
Yeah, that would have probably changed the course of middleweights.
Facts.
We'll never know, so that's why we appreciate the great fights we do get, like this Chocolatito career turnaround performance. Holy
shit, did he ever give a performance?
Yeah, and so now I think from what I've read, like the fight that's next is obviously a rematch unification with Estrada. As we all know,
that'd be interesting.
If you've seen the first fight, Chocolatito probably gave Estrada the most decisive loss of his career. Very decisive, the first time around. And Estrada wants payback, to put it lightly. And he has the title now to prove since he's the actual man in that division. So stay tuned. We may get a classic from talking to the classic. Probably come summertime.
If we get this fight at the end of the year, man, geez, like because Juan Estrada, like one of the best fighters, one of the best counter punchers in the game, like his skill is like all class. Like both of these guys, the combination punching, the compact, sharp accuracy of the punches, like it's this would be a next level fight. Like I'm hyped up for this, like I was like the Nair Monster, if that goes through.
Word. So yeah, like I said, I mean, Estrada wants payback, and Estrada, Estrada be killing it in them rematches. Estrada.
For real.
So I mean, definitely tune into that fight when it happens, and hopefully maybe
the rule still applies. You don't fight a counter puncher more than once.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like Chocolatito. Yeah, he's older, but this type of performance, like wow, like damn, like I feel what you're saying, but Chocolatito's so vicious, like, and he counter punches almost like he's going forward and counter punching at you.
It's because, like, as he throws the punches, this is where, like, some coaches will be like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this, you're falling over." He's slipping as he does it, so he dips and rolls under, so you never know where he's going. Because a lot of times people want to know where the person's head is. By the time you see the punch, his head is gone, and then he's somewhere else because he's predicting where your counter is coming from. Word. And by the time you want to do your gut reaction counter, he's hit you with something else. So then you start to hit that freezing point of like, shit, what do I do? Okay, let me just put up my hands. But before you put your hands up, he hits you with the right hand. So then what do you do then? Because the moment you're like, oh, I got hit, I should stand still, he's gone around you. Like what he did to the guy at like that last fight, where he just came around him with 3 right hands, just went around him and just kept falling him with the right uppercut. I'm like, that's scary.
Spinning around and shit. But see, that's basically what I was saying Martinez needs to learn to do.
Yeah,
because he basically just stands up straight at you like Benavidez, and at least but the thing is Benavidez has the height, so he towers over you doing that, which is a little more menacing to deal with. Whereas Martinez is like either your height or shorter than you, and he's doing that, and for me, I'ma just look at it like fuck that. I'ma just 1, 2, 1, 2 like.
Hey, when LB gives props to a height advantage, it's serious.
I know.
Damn, y'all caught that shit. I tried to just sneak that in there, like, like, oh yeah, he's just a little taller, that makes it a little more menace.
We're gonna notice it the second we see it.
Yeah, exactly.
You two tall motherfuckers gotta notice that shit. Y'all got that shit quick.
We've been shit on enough times to actually start to see it.
Fuck yeah, he mentioned the height again. Let's get him.
Yeah.
But oh man, this was a great performance. I mean, we could talk about it all day, but I know we got that the main event to get into.
Right, yeah, and like
Exactly.
I said, that was another great fight. Usually, getting two good fights in a row on a televised card is like a rarity these days. So you get that, and it's like, oh shit, this is the shit right here.
Yeah, Eddie Hearn came out swinging.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn, he put the performance enhancers on this matchmaking.
Yeah, he just needed PEDs for how he picks fights.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man, and then
A little Adderall, and then just look at the papers, and it's like I can see everything in the properly. He's in the Matrix.
yeah, so a little of the cocaine. Whoop, not cocaine. I mean Adderall.
He just needed to get right, and then he's good.
Yes, focused. So definitely kudos to Eddie Hearn for this, card, which was highlighted by the main event of Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas.